The People's Power on today's live, Equa Television International. My name is Tony Jane Kelly. I have Prudence Bruga with me, and I have Solomon Sambo Sabi. Today we are back on our set. After going to the 2023 poll set of Equa Television, we have hosted the show on the Choice set, and today we are coming back to the main set of the show, and it feels new and it feels. But anyway, glory be to God.
It feels good.
We're looking at the People's Power on today's life, and I'd like to say that the power of the people is stronger than the people in the power. So if the people don't realize that they have the power, then there is no need to think of exercising the power that they have. But I think in Nigeria, this is an election that has opened our eyes to the realities of the powers that we have as a people, you know, or as voters. You know. So 2027 will just be a few years from now, and a lot of arithmetics, political arithmetics would come up, and people would look at how they failed, how they didn't scale through, you know, to the office of positions, and how they can make it better in 2027. And believe me, the journey of 2027 starts now, not 2024, not 2025, but starts now. And already we are beginning to see how happy people are knowing the power that they already have. And even with the inconsistencies of INEC, so to say, people still have beliefs that their powers are exercisable, like they can exercise it, you know. So how much can the power of the people go?
A long way.
That's a ballpark answer, but I want you to further give me instances.
Okay, so for every revolution that has taken place, it starts with the people. For every change that has taken place, it is about the people. For every, basically any form of revolution or change that happened in history was all based on the people and what they were standing for at that moment. You'll find that the people were not satisfied about how this thing was going, and they wanted it to be better. So they garnered all their forces together to fight one cause, and that's why it turned out well. So the power of the people goes a long way to effect change. I think the only way that the people's power is not effective is when the people do not know exactly what their power is.
And the people have known how their power, because election, even if people did not win the election, at least they saw the extent to which their powers can go. And a lot of votes counted, even for the opposition, the opposition parties and all that. You could tell that even irrelevant parties got votes, and they were counted in their favor. It was just the winning that people had much problems with when you talk about the results of the elections and all that. Solo, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, based on the question you asked, I would say for as long as they want. Yeah, because it's one thing to know the power, it's one thing to exercise it, and it's one thing to be consistent. You know the power, you use it, and become consistent. That's when it becomes as long as you want it. Because some people at a particular point, yes, they can tell you, this is my power, this is my right. It's been enshrined in the Constitution that this is what I am supposed to do. But at the end of the day, maybe because of okay, now you know this is what the Constitution says, and then you are relaxed by implementing that power that you know the Constitution gave you. And then once you are relaxed, that means that power is not active. But even if you activate it,
when you are relaxed, the power is not active.
It's not active. Even when you activate it, for how long would you continue to be consistent? Because whatever you see in this life is progressional. That's why you find out different way that things were done 20, 30 years. Now they are being done differently. Now the globe is living like on express speed lane. And you don't expect certain things to be done. You exercise certain power, you know, while you are driving B2, when you know you are supposed to be jetting. You understand? So you will see that, yes, the power is there, but the implementation can just make you inactive. And then your consistency. Consistency, that means you are moving with the trend. As it changes, you keep moving. You don't stop. You keep exercising, you keep moving, because the trend keeps changing. That's why you mentioned the issue of 2027. I'm assuring you, 2027, there are so many voters that probably they did the registration, but they didn't collect their PVC. Some did, but they didn't vote. Some vote, but they didn't wait for their vote to be counted. So these people now will now sit down and analyze and say, okay, yes, at certain point I exercise my power, but was I consistent to the end to make sure that desired result that I want by exercising my power become a success? Then that's when you sit down and say, okay, I've gotten it wrong here. We got it wrong here. Okay, what do we do this time around? So this time around, you're supposed to do this and this and this and this, and you have to be consistent with it. So the moment you know you're right, you activate it, you are consistent, I think, till you die. That desired result you will always see.
The power of the people it mostly evokes the powers that be at the grassroots. Because if you, like we were discussing yesterday on the show, and I think it was me or you or Joyce that said, when the people, their lives, they are suffering.
You're the one that said it.
Okay, I said that, right?
Yes.
Then what they are going through that is not right, what is wrong with the system, the power that they have will be a driving force. Because if you are talking about power, it's a movement. So what is going to fund that movement is the power that people have. And movement against what? Movement against poverty, movement against poor infrastructural development, movement against poor healthcare, movement against... In fact, if you check Nigeria today, go to the hospital, you see that commonly the diseases in the hospital are typhoid and malaria. Commonly. They are deadly, sir. They are deadly.
Common cold.
Yes. And these are things that within a year can be eradicated. But because people make money from the existence of these diseases, nobody wants it eradicated. Once the poor people know, it will be enshrined within their plans. And this power that they have is just a matter of time. They will exercise it, sir. It's just a matter of time they will exercise it. And what does it mean to exercise the power? You change the man at the top, every other thing will collapse alongside. Because the man at the top is the man who appoints either the commissioner or the minister of health, who should have known what to do. The man at the top is the man who appoints the minister or the commissioner of education. One time I was with a commissioner of a particular state, and I told her, you are commissioner of tourism. I have contacts for you from St. Martin's in Europe. These people will help you develop tourism in your state. And I used my phone and I called the other lady at the other end. And they spoke for over an hour. And at the end, the commissioner told me, she said, Tony, this is brilliant. The idea is wonderful. But you know what? My governor gave me a blueprint and asked not to go out of the blueprint. So I will resign my appointment no matter how much I'm making. First instance, you counted my knowledge as a worthy one. You brought me to the system. That means you brought me to make positive contribution and impact in that ministry. Now you have said that you don't need me to make any contribution or impact. Rather, work with this document. You don't need a commissioner in such a ministry. The permanent secretary might as well continue.
Yeah, sure. Can implement that blueprint.
These are people that are willing to bring animals to their zoo. They were willing to have the pictures and graphics of the place in the biggest airports in this world, so that you can know that you can come to that state for a vacation in Nigeria. But look at it. The people will only see things not working. And people make the mistake of not imagining what stops things from happening. The moment we start imagining what stops things from happening, is going to be blamed at the guy at the top, on the guy at the top. The guy at the top is going to be blamed. Today, if Equa Television starts misbehaving, they know who to ask. If Equa Television starts doing well, they clap. And they know who to call to say, you are doing well. And then the same person will go and meet the staff to say, we have a recommendation. We are doing well. Let's keep it up. Oh, we are doing bad here. We need to wake up here. So, when we talk about KPIs, key performance indicators, people should keep a KPI on the head of everyone that is in a particular position in their state. We are not voting you second term because of the Commissioner of Education. We do not see anything happening in the education sector. We do not see anything happening in the health sector. So you are doing roads. We don't care. That's good. But these two sectors, you are not doing well. So we are not. Sir, it has to be that competitive. It has to be first. The people must start determining projects that should not even take place in their state from the powers that the people have. You want to do a bridge? No, we don't need it. Don't do it. Taxpayers' money? Don't do it. You want to do 2,000-kilometer roads? You want to do here and here? No, they have more roads than this place. So start here. Oh, wow, my people said I should start here. So let me start here. Sir, when you do that, that means you have engaged people. You are running an all-inclusive government. You have engaged people in your plans, in your ideas, in everything that you do. The people will not only respect you, they will support you and protect your name anywhere. So if we are talking about the power of the people, first of all, we have to go back to the masses, the grassroots, and ask them if they know the power that they have. What they will tell you is, we know the power that we have. We exercise our power, but it did not count. change does not come overnight. The mistake that Nigerians made was with what happened at the presidential election. They refused to, the turnout was terrible during the governorship and houses of assembly. Why? Because we exercise our power, it didn't count. The more reason why, as a people, when you sit down, instead of blaming the system, ask in this whole group, how many of you have your PVCs? Let's even start there. If you don't have, you should go and get it. No, don't say, don't talk here, don't contribute. No, go and get it. If we had 2 million voters in a state last year, last election season, what stops us from having 6 million? Because the number of people who registered, the number of people who collected their PVCs, the number of people who voted, the number of people who came up with invalid vote, voter and civic education, they are different. They are far apart night and day, sir. They're different. That means we even have to go back to start educating the people afresh. So the power that the people have is not a small power, sir. It's mega power. Imagine if we start thinking that we have the power to put a president or to remove a president, and we agree on how to use that power, sir, it's not something small. It is something worth going deep into, asking ourselves, how can this power be used for our goals to be actualized?
Yeah. Yes, and I think that one of the major mistakes that we made in Nigeria is that we don't really know the extent to which our power is relevant to the change in our community. So we are not doing anything about it. See, for instance, the presidential election, we had a massive people came out, and a lot of people could not even vote at the end of the day because the time had already elapsed, and then the beavers shut down and all that, so they could not vote. These people, instead of us to be determined and come back for the second one, okay, so this one is the grassroots, this one is closer to us, this is nearer to us. So we were supposed to have come out more mass. The mass should have increased. There should have been an
increment
in the number of people coming out to vote this time around. But rather, we folded our arms and just sat back at home. It's like we're expecting some form of miracle to happen, and we're not going out to use the power that is embedded in the people, the nation itself. So we need, as you said earlier, we need real strong education so that we can boost that from that side of it. And then the other thing that we need to know is that earlier on he mentioned that the world is moving in a fast pace. So if we are struggling for this kind of change, even if we get a little bit, we are not supposed to be comfortable. We're supposed to strive harder so that everything will become better for us. But we are not doing that. So I don't know, I can't remember where you mentioned it, but I think it was yesterday's The Choice that you said something about the people not being ready yet. So it's like we are not tired enough to want change. Because if the people are tired enough to want change, then that change is going to happen. Check all the revolutions you have heard, every movement that you have heard, be it the Black Lives Matter movement, whatever movements that had any relevance. It was the people who made it happen. And if we are not coming with that determination, earlier on you mentioned consistency, if we're not coming with those, we're not utilizing our power enough. It's like we're having power, but we just sit on it.
And having something and sitting on it is worse than the problem that you had, that you are sitting on the solution. Because mostly people are even tired. People are settled. People are settled. with the state they are at. You find out someone is in abject poverty, and he tells you, is it new? Let me just drink my gari and sleep. No, that's not the life meant for you. That's not the life meant for you. There is someone, the more you make that decision, the more he gets empowered. Because he's stealing what belongs to you, and you are not bothered that you are stolen from. Yes, he's stealing what belongs to you, and you are not bothered. Sir, the masses or the grassroots that Prudence was talking about should always agree. We have communities of people. Let's not go and be discussing who stole goat and who don't know. We should deal with the issues that will make people stop stealing goats. See, it's time that Nigerians crave for that revolution. Yesterday, someone was saying Peter Obi has redefined the politics of Nigeria. I was waiting for him to explain how. I think his phone rang and he went to his car to answer the call. Sir, we need to redefine everything that has to do with Nigeria as a people. When we come out to say the appointment is not balanced, and then the person leading tells you that the past administration did the same thing, you people did not complain, why are you complaining on my own? You are not patriotic. Are we looking for people that will continue in the line of failure, or are looking for people that will change narrative for the nation? These are the things that we should always consider when we are up against people. So it is disheartening that we are already making wrong things the right way to life. It's quite unfortunate. It's becoming the new and the living way.
I think, and this is really important because you go to the schools, the education sector, and you see what is going on in classrooms from primary schools to secondary schools to the university. You find a whole lot of cheating during examinations. You know, people are getting answers from this person or that person. You're paying for your certificate. Basically, it starts from then. And then you suddenly expect that up there is going to be any different. I think our power needs to start from the grassroots. Let's see how we can walk in these classrooms first. If we are able to inculcate in the younger generation that this is not right, they would not be comfortable the way we are comfortable. It's like somebody kept on ringing in your head that if you cheat and you get the end justifies the means. It's like somebody just kept on ringing that into our brains. So at this point, a lot of Nigerians are comfortable where they are. If anything goes wrong and they're saying that this thing is, they are saying that it is wrong, but they would say that's the nature of Nigeria. This is Nigeria. That's the slogan. This is Nigeria.
It's painful when you hear people say something like that and said, well, they are Nigerians. That's the way they behave. After all, what do you expect? I was like, seriously? So we have settled. We have come to terms that nothing will work. We settled with that. Like you said, you know, the issue of education, it's very important. But like she's saying, you look at the system. Who are the people operating the system? For instance, just the past election, look at the people that are returning officers. They are professors. How can you come as a professor and you are giving me such number and you think it's okay? While my child is asking me question, Daddy, is that how it's supposed to be? Even if he didn't ask me question, he's asking certain questions in his mind. Like that professor, I don't know if you see the video, that returning officer.
You must be somewhere under the rocks not to have seen that video.
You get it. And they will tag with every Nigerian. And it's wrong. We know Nigerians that are intelligent. We know Nigerians that are thriving out there because of their chosen profession, what they choose to do. That means it's possible. But you see, the problem is that you know, this issue of divide and rule when it comes to the minority. Because anytime you see the issue of divide and rule, you see mafialism playing. You see intelligence, smartness, rather. Smartness. Because anytime it plays, they only trying to show you that they are smarter than you.
I would say craftiness.
Yeah, yes, I think that's the right word, craftiness. You understand? Because smartness, yes, is something that, you know, in every profession they expect to see you. You are intelligent, you are smart, you know, in doing your things. So I think that's the word, craftiness.
I hope Joyce is watching and
Yeah.
she's learning English.
You see, sir, so they use that tactics, that craftiness, and they divide us across religious life, across ethnicity, and they begin to preach one kind sermon that is not acceptable. Someone will be telling you that you vote this person, once you vote him, the entire country will be ruled by infidels. While the same person will tell you, another person will tell you that if you vote this person, is a win-win for our religion. But you will ask a simple question. That particular religion, yes, is leading, right? But the common thing that humanity demands, is it there? The answer is no. Then you start asking the followers, how are you thinking? Because you vote based on religion, but the same religion, you are crying, there is no food, there is no money. And then you ask, what is your constitutional right, you as a Nigerian, forget religion. We don't look at things like that.
We don't.
And then look at the primaries, presidential primaries, the form some of them bought, like 100 million. And I asked this question, I said, show me somebody from that ward, I mean ward, not local government, from that ward that person is coming as his own constituency, that he has put in 100 million in that ward, and you tell me that ward will not worship him. If you can,
They have not put even 10 million. They have not even put 1 million. Because, are you done? Sorry, sir.
Okay, so I'm just looking at this simple things, these simple analogies that we will just agree, we as people, we as humans, we as Nigerians, to agree on these things and ask certain simple questions. Like that word level thing. Imagine those politicians putting such amount in those words, like putting 100 million in your word. People will go there for tourism. People will travel. I'm telling you, people will travel because they want to go and see that particular community. Because 100 million can transform a ward. If you ask, what do we need? Health, cottage hospital, water, pipe-borne water, and light, and road. Probably you don't need to tar the road, maybe grade it. Maybe some you don't even need them to grade, but just a bridge or a culvert that will just link this community just and the other. And that's just it. And you begin to see us, when it comes to time that we will exercise our power, still yet supporting these people. You can imagine in Rivers, for instance, almost 15 people lost their lives simply because we are holding election. State election. You are voting a governor that will come and govern people, and then the people are losing their lives simply because some certain things are not right. And you ask, where is the power? I think it's high time that we start, because the power of the masses, it's something that when it comes together, even God becomes attention. Like that's the way he will pause, because it happens during the building of the Tower of Babel. You know, when they started, there's this, he has to pause a little and say, oh, these people are really united and they are using their power because they agree that this is what they want to do. And then they are leading. I said, no, let me scatter their language. And that was what happened. So you can see the power of people coming together and agreeing on one thing. That means even God acknowledged that. But you know the devil with his craftiness, the power of split and then have his way. That is what is happening. But at least Nigerians, we should ask simple questions.
We should really ask simple questions. And some of these questions is like, how is ours any different from the world that is moving ahead? What exactly is different? How is it that we need professors to stand in and call for us collation results when we can simply upload something on is the internet in Nigeria different from that of the...
That's the speed that I'm talking.
One
that's the speed
abroad.
I'm talking.
There are just a whole lot of other questions that we need to ask.
Let me explain something to you. When somebody wants to cheat you, there is a popular saying in Hausa. It says, "Mesom abunka yafika dabara." That the person who wants what belongs to you, he is more civilized, not civilized, he's more crafty as to how he gets that thing from you. If you use electronic means 100%, how will they read? How would they cheat? How will they turn the result in their favor? Someone said something, and I believe, but not completely. He said, what is a free and fair election? And then he said, when the opposition wins. It sounds like it's true. But a free and fair election is, we are 3 in this studio, and then we are voting one human being to become maybe the head of studio. 2 of you voted the person. I didn't vote the person. The people counting, they don't like the person you voted. Why won't they just do it on real time so that wherever you are, you can see it? Why are we using beavers? And then we are showing results directly, and then you have somebody else that is announcing it.
It makes no sense.
The portal of INEC, with that portal, we don't need a collation center. We don't. Collect the results online. And let the portal, let it close at a particular time. If you don't send in your result, the portal is closed. So it will change a lot of things. It will change a lot of things. INEC did well, but they did not complete their job. And this is what I mean. You have the IRF. The IRF is just showing you results of every polling unit. Can't the IRF calculate everything and tell you the sum total? Because that beavers, the beavers that we have, these beavers that we have, they can conduct the elections, they can compete the result, and then they can upload it to the IRF. And then you can have another platform that announces the result by 10 p.m. that day of election. It's possible, sir.
It is.
It's more than possible, sir. If your results have not come in by that time, consider as a party you have lost that place that you are delaying to bring your results. Because how people rig is they wait. Because with the advent of the beavers, you cannot just be printing ballot papers and count. The beavers will tell you, no, there are 211 people here. And you have 608 papers, even though we have seen that in Kaduna. That
playing
really
some
took
parts,
place in Kaduna. But compared to what it used to be, it has been drastically reduced. Drastically. INEC, if you are watching, go back to your tech drawing table and check the beavers that you have. Can't they be upgraded in such a way that they can have screens where you can see the political parties, the logos, and click on your own, and it will count as an added vote. It saves us the cost of printing ballot papers. It saves us the cost of carrying
those tables
these around and all that. You can just stand, and you can even do it like a kiosk. You can just put it there. When you go there, you do your accreditation, you put your number, your voters register number, your PVC, the number on your PVC. You put it, your name comes up, your picture comes up. Is this you? Yes. Click vote. Political parties will show. You can even swipe if there are too many political parties. It's like a tab. You can swipe. When you see PDP, if PDP is your choice. When you see APC, if APC your. When you see AA, when you see NNPP, whatever you want, just click on it. It will ask you, are you sure? It should be able to bring fill the whole screen with the party. Since it's digital, the picture can even come out. It will ask you, are you sure? If you say yes, you have voted, just go. And on people's devices,
you can do it.
You can be able to watch. And even at home, you don't have to go to polling units. We have one-time passwords, OTPs. You can vote on your phone using like an OTP system. It can be hacked. If you want it hacked, it will be hacked. If you don't want it hacked, it will not be hacked.
They try to give us an idea. Yeah.
So when you bring professors, that some secondary school people are brighter than. Already you have told us what you want to do. What is the need of using these old people who sound like that other one that sound like an illiterate?
Somebody is reading.
Somebody was reading for you. He said, and has been declared winner. No. They now corrected him on the right thing to say, sir, what are we doing? Something was sent to me.
Okay.
I don't know how true it is. But if, I don't know how true it is. Let me see if I can bring it out. Where is it? Exactly. Update on what transpired at Abia State Governorship Result Collection Center. The INEC presiding officer in Abia State had this to say. I'm Professor Nena Oti from Afikpo. I'm Vice Chancellor of Federal University of Technology, Owerri. The people's mandate shall stand. She also said, I have spent all my adult life in pursuit of the ideals of good governance. The story is very long. But I don't know how true that
her picture now is flying. People are celebrating her.
Oh, that is true? Is that true? That story is true?
People are celebrating her. They said, even if you are complaining that we have bunch of quote and unquote professors, but we still have one that stand up. Now her picture is
I thought
flying.
it was just rumored that she did that, but it appeared to be true. Yeah. That the woman refused. Why do you think you can buy anything in this country? You can buy anything in this country. Anything buyable. You can buy it. People buy professorship. People buy everything. So when you bring people like that to announce results, if you can use copper self, they will be better. They will be more brilliant. What is the criteria for even choosing these professors to come and disgrace us nationally on TV, internationally on
TV? You see, when it comes to issue of divide and rule, party sets in. Then you forget about professionalism, you forget about capacity, you forget about all those factors that would make a country or a society, change for better. Then you begin to look issue of loyalty. And you mentioned something earlier. You said free and fair election is when the opposition wins. So when you begin to see incumbent going like, I said, I can't rule even if he's a councillor, even if he's a governor, or for 4 years, and I will struggle to come back. No, it's only when I don't want the seat. No, I can't struggle. It will tell you that any opposition that is coming, you will just say, okay, let's not be like, for instance, in Borno, you can see the margin. So it just tells you that, so that people will not feel that the other party is not existing. So let's just be on the ballot, and then allow this man to finish, and we pray that he doesn't bring somebody that he has groomed that can even do better than him, because that would just be the fair, not even the incumbent. Just check it. That's what we talk about governance. That when you work, let even your child.
And he didn't struggle to come back.
No, sir.
No struggle.
When people bought form for him, it was the collation of all other parties, including that came together and agree.
Which parties that came together? Including that came together. Is that the name of a party? So they are looking for trouble on set.
And he's not the only one, actually. Even Sheyi Makinde had an easy, smooth sail, because the people know the relevance that these governors are having, so they didn't have an issue. But see, for instance, the case of Adamawa, you just find that they're just quiet. It's like, did an election just happen and it is inconclusive? They just...
Is it concluded already?
No,
No,
it's
it's still
inconclusive.
inconclusive. I think I saw something about them being the election being rescheduled or something like that.
That's why they declared inconclusive.
So
You
there are
understand?
some...
And that's where the former president is coming. You understand?
Vice President.
Sorry, Vice President Atiku Abubakar, the candidate of People's Democratic in the last presidential election. And then that is happening in your state. And you begin to wonder, like, what truly is happening? That place is just a show of power. So people want to prove a point.
The incumbent in Adamawa is PDP, right?
PDP.
Yes.
You understand? And then, because...
Did he perform? Did he do
he did well.
He did well.
He performed.
I think
He
it was
performed.
at some point he was going ahead of his opponent, the one of the EPC, and then suddenly there was a whole inconclusive, something about overvoting and some polling units.
If you notice during the campaign, all this while the party were campaigning, the Mr. President did not follow them. His first appearance was in Adamawa, when he followed them for the presidential campaign with Tinubu. That was his first appearance. You know, because people raise questions that your party is going around, not like the way we saw before when PDP...
That's in Adamawa State?
In Adamawa State. You know, when people were saying, is it that you are not in support of...
the person there coming back?
Coming back. That was his first appearance. And people asked, why Adamawa? And he mentioned, in that clip, you will see, he mentioned the name of the gubernatorial candidate, the woman.
He wants.
No, that...
But I don't get the story.
Okay.
The Atiku, who was the vice presidential candidate of PDP, it was
No,
not...
I'm talking about the opposition party now.
Oh, okay, okay.
The opposition party.
Okay.
You know, Mr. President, during their campaign, their presidential campaign, he made his first appearance in all the campaign they went around, aside the mega
rally.
Yes, the official that they did in Jos, Plateau State. You know, his next appearance was after they may have gone through so many states, was in Adamawa. He mentioned her name, that they should vote for her. But when it comes to the presidential whatever, he said, vote the party. He didn't mention the name.
Okay.
And yes, media took it, and then people raised question that why didn't he call the person's name? Yeah, like you should call Tinubu, like vote Tinubu,
Mr.
President.
Okay, the president of Nigeria.
President of Nigeria,
okay.
Muhammadu Buhari.
Okay.
You understand? So you know, people ask so many questions that, okay, you are coming for presidential campaign that is holding in Adama, but you are calling that people should vote the governor, but you didn't mention the name of people that is flagging, you know, the presidential whatever. So
now
people,
I get the story.
yeah, so people ask so many questions. So like I'm saying, like the show of power, yes, she's a woman. First, to have a ticket that is running, and then people are really giving her support. Well, I don't have problem with that. I don't have problem. In fact, I will be happy if she have a track record that, yes, she can pull a crowd that masses will say, we think, even with the performance of Fintri, at least we think this one will do better. It's the voice of the people. We want to see such things playing. But when you begin to see, like, is the issue of party this time around, and then you are using the people to divide, just like to get whatever, and then you are undermining the system for that. That's where I'm going. Using those factors and then undermining the system, I don't think it's good for us. I don't think it's good for us. Because the system is the number one. Because it's when the system is working, that is when you will know whether your voice will count or not. Because when the system is working, now you can see the issue of that woman. That's the reason why I'm talking about the issue of Adama. The professor, the one in Abia. See the drag, see the space. I remember one time you talked about, during our show, you said once there is a space and there is silence, already you are creating a room for anything to happen. And whatever happens, people will just take it as that's the exact thing that happened. You know, the entire world feel they want to rig Abia State election. They want to steal the mandate from the people. And Labour were crying like, we saw this glaring coming that we are winning, but we don't understand these things that is happening. Like, it's not INEC again. And then you can imagine the kind of pressure that will be on the person that we announced. Because everywhere is done. Now people will start calling you, probably telling you do the needful. Like, so just imagine. And then if someone is not really strong, you don't have values, you stand for something, and then you say, against all odds, let's do the right thing. Definitely, there will be a lot of compromise. But try your possible best and take away those pressure. Like, why should Adamawa State election drag like this? Well, I don't see reason. So we should allow this pressure. We should not put pressure on our what do you call it? On our system, particularly, you know, the people that are saddled with the responsibility of doing the right thing. I can tell you, you will hear announcement of result where people are saying, yes, we know that the people voted for this person, but at the end of the day, is because I'm not secure, I'm under duress, and I announce otherwise. And you ask yourself, where is the place of the security? You understand? And you ask yourself, where is the normal procedure of the guidelines that said this one will help the masses' voice to be heard? So these are some of the things that I feel Nigerians should wake up to the power that they have, you know, and then that consistency, it's very key, because small thing we relax. And then the people know our psyche, they use our psyche. You know, they will make you hungry. In other countries, this issue of Naira, by now, I don't think by now all of us should have been here. Yes, this country should have been shut down, because you can't expect somebody with his legit money and he will be told how to spend while his child or his wife is dying in the hospital. And you expect the country to rule normal. And one thing that is happening with us, sir, is that we are too religious, which I tag us to be hypocrite. Because yes, there are laws guiding all of these things. If you are a Christian, you know what is guiding you. The Bible tells you what to do that is right. But when you are a believer and you don't do what you are supposed to do as a believer, you are a hypocrite. And then the Bible tells me that faith, if I'm having faith, I'm having belief that Nigeria will be better, and I'm not acting on it, faith without works, I know what my Bible says is dead. So that is where the issue of consistency comes. As you talk about the faith, you believe in it, you act on it, and you keep believing, you keep acting until that thing is actualized. So I feel we should wake up, not just believe, generally believe the issue of religion, and then you are just there not doing what you are supposed to do, and then people are riding on you and you feel it's okay. And let's pray, let's pray. I think we will all sit at home and pray. Will they count our prayers?
I think that
count our votes 1 minute.
I think that the thing about the people's power is that you are being able to back them, to push them to the wall, to carve, like the minority that is oppressing, you're able to push them to the wall so that they have no other option than to do what you need them to do. And that's the point that we need to reach in Nigeria. If we don't reach that point, there's nothing that we can do.
Sambo Solomon Sabi, Prudence, Bulga, Tony Jane Akadi did this on today's live for Television International. And we're grateful for spending time to watch the show. Sorry we could not open the phone lines for you to make your contributions, but remember that the people have the power to make the change that they yearn for. This is today's life, and we're grateful to the Equa Executive for giving us the opportunity to always, always, and always be on air. Stay out of trouble. Be kind to one another. We see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. God bless you. Bye.